Good afternoon, and this is 90.9 FM WJAB. Welcome to the Presidential Community News from the Hill. I'm your host, Erica Fox, and as I said in the newscast, we normally have this on the third Wednesday, but it's Thanksgiving next week.
Yes,
so
it
we're going to take a break.
Thanksgiving next week, and let me, at the beginning, wish each of you a happy Thanksgiving, and I trust that you will enjoy the time that you will have with your family. The schedule a little different this year for the university. We're going to actually be closed the entire week. And so our students are excited, and I'm sure our faculty and staff are excited as well.
Yes, we look forward to that rest. That's what I look for, in a little cleaning, but a little rest.
A little rest.
And welcome back once again, Dr. Hugine, the 11th president of Alabama A&M University. And as usual, your calendar is busy, and it has been busy. So let's recap a few things. Magic City Classic and the Board of Trustees meeting, and some elections and new officers. Talk about that if you
Certainly. Well, we had a wonderful time always at the Magic City Classic. It's an opportunity for the two institutions to really showcase our excellence in what we really do. And a part of that is we always have our Board of Trustees meeting for the month of October. This year we had the election of new officers, and so our president pro tempore going into the upcoming year is Dr. Jerome Williams. Dr. Williams has served on our board for a number of years. He actually began his collegiate study at Alabama A&M, but wanted to be a veterinarian. Of course, we don't have a veterinary program, and so he transferred to Tuskegee, but he is, in fact, one of our own. Our secretary is Mr. Chris Robinson, who serves here representing this region on the Board of Trustees. And then we have three additional persons that will make up what is called our executive committee. Those individuals are Trustee Ginger Hopper, Trustee Kevin Ball, and Trustee John Hackett. You will note that both Trustees Ball and Hackett's are graduates of Alabama A&M University.
I think that always helps, because they will have, I think all of them have vested interest, but the ones that are alums will really have an extra vested interest in the university.
Well, I'm fortunate, I think the university is very fortunate, because all of our board members really have a vested interest in moving the university forward, and you can really see that in many of the developments that are taking place here. And so we applaud the leadership and their vision, and we applaud what they do for our university.
Most definitely, and congratulations to all of them. Last week was busy, I think probably nationwide, in the city and here on campus, honoring our veterans. And I want to say congratulations to my dad, who's a retired captain in the Air Force, and other family members, and of course the ones that came on campus to partake in our celebrations. What was your take on Veterans Day and all the activities?
Well, we certainly always want to take the time to recognize individuals that serve our nation and have served our nation. Clearly, there is a cost associated with freedom. Not only have they made tremendous sacrifices, but their families have made sacrifices as well. And so as a university, we always pause each year to recognize our veterans. This year we did a number of events. In addition to the program, the Veterans Day program, which we had, fortunately, Colonel retired Douglas Bonner, who was a graduate of the university, who gave a wonderful address. This year we are fortunate to have on our campus a Purple Heart recipient, Mr. James Malinahan. And so as a part of that, we had a ribbon-cutting ceremony for special parking spaces that are designated on the campus for Purple Heart recipients. And so that was a part of what we did for our Veterans Day program. In addition to that, we always have a football game that we allow veterans to come, and the admission is free. That was the prior game that we played with Jackson State University, and so that went extremely well. We also had flag raising.
Now, was that the first time we've done that? Or it was just of that magnitude?
I think it's the first time of the magnitude. We decided that we wanted to have a central location for the flag on the campus rather than multiple flags. There needs to be one flag that's the focus for the campus, and so we wanted to find a space that would be ideal for that. And what better space than the quad? It's beautiful coming into the campus. And then we said, okay, now we have this flag. Do we just unceremoniously go out one day and put the flag up? Or is it that we really need to have a formal flag raising ceremony? So we got with our ROTC program, and obviously with our PMS, Colonel Smith, and said to them, look, we'd like to do a formal flag raising. And so one thing led to another, and ultimately we decided to do a formal program with the ROTC program involving our band that was there. Our Queen was there to give greetings on behalf of the university, and we talked a little bit about the flag and what it meant. So it was a wonderful ceremony. And so now we have that location. A lot of people may not be aware of the fact that if you have a flag, and that flag is going to fly 24 hours a day, you're supposed to have a light on the flag. So it's just not, and if you don't, the flag should actually come down. So the flag that we have there are lights on it, so at night when you come, you'll see that the flag is illuminated. That's one of the guidelines for flying a flag.
I did not know that. Learn something new every day. I guess that's why Michael Burns and I were one of the last ones on the quad. He said, Erica, are the lights on? I said, what lights? I thought he meant on the quad. And he said, the lights under the flag. And I looked and said, yes. But it didn't register why he's asking. So thank you for that lesson.
You're welcome.
I thought the whole week was just beautiful.
It was.
I really thought it was. And I saw our Purple Heart recipient yesterday, and he just was grinning, but just as everyday normal person, but he has 3 special spots. Right. Where did they put the parking spaces?
There's one over by Carver. There's another right near LRC, and then there's another at the ROTC program.
That's wonderful.
So there are actually 3 spots on the campus. Now, those spots are for any Purple Heart recipient, so it's just not for Mr. Millennium only. Other Purple Heart recipients that might come to the campus, they can park there as well.
That is wonderful. We thank them all for their service once again. And you were talking about Jackson State. We talked about Magic City Classic, which leads me to the scoreboard. And what's the latest on the scoreboard? And some people are asking, why do we want the public to buy in and help out with that? Sure. We talked a little bit about that last month, but they may have missed it. So if you can retouch on that.
I'd love to. Our stadium was built in the mid-1990s. The scoreboard that we have, of course, was installed at that time. So you're looking at a scoreboard that's almost 30 years old, and a lot of technology has changed through the period of time. In addition to that, there's a lot more fan interaction now, and so if you've got, the cams, the spy cams, you've got instant replay, all of these things that fans expect, our board doesn't have the capability of doing that. And so it was decided that we needed to put a new scoreboard. So this one gives us not only the opportunity to have these additions, but it's also a wonderful marketing tool. It has a lot of capabilities, so we can actually now play different ads that the companies might submit, those that have sponsorships, and of course we can get the instant replay and other things that add to the game day experience. And so it's moving well. Again, we need to have all the dollars in hand by May, because we do need to have the board designed and installed and to be ready for the fall 2018 football season. We currently have about a fourth of what we need. The board and the marquee along the parkway is about $1 million. We have about $210,000 now, so we're about a fourth of the way, and we hope that this will accelerate as we move toward the end of the year. This is a wonderful time, and I say to individuals, as we are entering this season, people are taking a look at their giving for the year and seeing if they've met their targets. And so if you're a little short and you need this in order to make that target, because what you don't want to do at the end of the year is to pay unnecessary money in income taxes.
Right.
And so one way of doing that is through giving. And so I would urge people, go back and take a look at your giving targets for the year and add Alabama A&M University to that, and let us help you save money on your taxes by giving a contribution to the university. And we particularly want to ask for contributions to this school board marketing initiative that we have.
And it can be tax deductible.
And it is tax deductible.
So that's good to know. Some people probably don't know about that.
It is tax deductible.
And that's good to know. So we'll continue to reiterate that as well. This is the Presidential Community News from the Hill here on WJAB. We're talking with Dr. Andrew Hugine, our 11th president of Alabama A&M University. Basketball season already underway. The women have played. The men have played. There's a game tonight. So what are your expectations? What are you thinking about?
This is going to be a great year. I had the opportunity early, and I'll talk about this later. We do a walking with the president each Wednesday. So this Wednesday, the men's basketball team came out, of course, in addition to our faculty and our staff. And so I had an opportunity to, as I was walking, to talk with each of them. So they would, we'd walk one lap, and then someone else will come. And so we talked about the season and their excitement. They're very, very excited, and they are confident that we're going to have a great season. So I hold them to their word, and I said, I'm going to be there. So when you hear this voice, that's me saying, Lord, let's get with it, let's get it done. So
Yes.
I'm excited. I think we have good leadership in the sense of Coach Marsh, and they seem to have warmed up to him quite well. And so I think we're going to have a good season this year. So I'm looking forward to what takes place over in the gym.
We look forward to that. The Lady Bulldogs tip off tonight at 6 p.m. in the gym, and the men will be going to University of Alabama Friday. Michael Burns will have all of that action here on WJAB. Now, how about that dorm? Residence Hall. I told you I'm old school, Dr. Hugine. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right. It took me a while to get accustomed to saying Residence Hall as well.
That is going up fast and furious, but right, in the right way. So where are we now with that?
We are still on schedule. It's our plan to occupy that in January.
Wow.
I'm not certain that they have opened up applications, but there will be applications for students that desire to stay in the residence hall beginning in January. Of course, we realize some of them will be moving from the existing residence hall there. But it is a beautiful facility. It has done a lot to change the face of Meridian Street. It's a wonderful blend between the traditional buildings we have on campus and the modern building. So you have the A-frame, but in addition to the A-frame, you've got a lot of glass to give you more of that modern feature. So it's a beautiful architecturally designed building, and so we're excited and looking forward to moving in that structure. It has all of the latest bells and whistles, so that when you go in, we don't have keys. They're actually card access.
Swipe card?
A swipe card.
Wow.
You do the
Okay.
swipe cards to go in, and of course in the rooms, the lights. When you walk in, they will come on, and if you are there, absent for a while, then they go off. So very energy efficient in that regard. And so we're excited. We presented to the Board of Trustees at its last meeting the fee structure. Because any fee at the university has to be approved by the Board of Trustees. And so we couldn't set a fee for that residence hall without their approval. And so we presented to them a fee structure. And so there are what we call single quads and there are double quads. The single quads are going to be $3,500, and the double quads will be $3,000. And the difference between them is that in the single, as it suggests, you don't have a roommate. There's one person, and then there is a kind of Jack and Jill bathroom that is shared by you and the other person in another single room. In the double, you have two people in a room, but they share a bathroom. No more than two individuals will share bathroom facilities there in the residence hall. Beautiful when you walk in. It is absolutely beautiful. One of the things that we're going to do, we will have our ribbon cutting for the official ribbon cutting for that building on March the 2nd.
Okay.
Our Board of Trustees will be here on the 1st and the 2nd of March. They'll have their committee meetings on March the 1st, and the board meeting will be the morning of March the 2nd. We'll have it actually probably 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And then that afternoon, we will have the official ribbon cutting for the new residence hall. We wanted to do it at a time we wouldn't have to have the board members coming back. And of course, board meetings are open to the public, and for the ribbon cutting is open to the public, and they'll have an opportunity to go through and do a tour of the facility. We plan, and this is in the early stages, and I'm going to take the liberty to say we'll be able to do it. Hopefully it's going to be furnished and everything is ready by the opening faculty and staff conference in January.
Okay.
And where typically in the past we've had you to pick up your lunch there at the Wellness Center, we're going to put the lunch over in the new residence hall so that faculty and staff will have an opportunity to go through that facility after the opening meeting. So you'll get a chance to see it for yourself.
And I'm going to say that's not what I had in my when I was in school up here.
We did not have it. None of us did.
No, but it sounds so millennial friendly.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes,
sure
it
they
is.
will be excited
Yes,
about
it is.
that, especially that light thing. I can just see it going in, lights on.
Yes,
See that
yes,
lights off. I like that. That is wonderful. I look forward to seeing that myself.
Okay,
And hopefully students will be safe on the road, and I can just see them trying to cross the street, jaywalk to get there. So we need them to be.
Yeah, I think that, and one of the things we are in conversations with the city about doing some changes to Meridian Street. And so obviously this is not going to happen in a year or two, but long term what will happen is that you will only have one lane of traffic going in both directions along Meridian, and you will have what they call roundabouts.
A roundabout, okay.
And so that's going to slow the traffic down, give us a whole different presence as you're moving down Meridian Street. That's probably 3 or 4 years in the making, but we are in discussions with the city about doing that now because we are concerned likewise about the safety of our students in crossing the street.
Okay. Can you speak to the Greasy Spoon? I saw that truck at the last game. I said, wait a minute. Because, again, I'm old school. We had the Greasy Spoon in the bottom of the student center there, and then it moved to the night center for a minute. And Dr. Crosby said there's going to be a ribbon cutting. Can you talk about the Greasy Spoon on wheels?
Yes. We understand that that is one of the popular places that existed on the campus. And obviously, as things change, we've updated to the point now we do have, in fact, subway and on the campus. But there is still that desire to hold on to that which is a part of the history of the university. And so while we have not created another space, permanent space, we thought that we would still maintain the concept.
I love it.
And of course, food trucks are very popular now, and we decided that what we would do is to make it the Greasy Spoon on Wheels, and that's our food truck. We've been working on this for some time. We had hoped to roll it out earlier, but you can imagine now. Let's fast forward to the spring of the year when this truck can move around the campus in different places and has a schedule so that faculty, staff, or students can meet the food truck there. Imagine doing football season.
Epic.
That we have this opportunity. So it's very exciting. So we try to do a good blend of that. Past, but also making it and updating it for the current and for the future. And so food trucks are a lot of fun, and I think that our faculty, staff, and students are going to enjoy that.
It's going to work. I
It's going
can
to
tell
work.
you that already.
It's
I posted a picture, and everybody started putting the requests for menus, the chicken wings, and I said the cheeseburger and the french fries must be crispy, and the grilled cheese sandwich, and some jungle juice. I don't know if we can bring back jungle juice or not, but I can give you that menu and let you know
Well,
about that.
I'm familiar with the jungle juice. I'm not sure if you can find jungle juice now.
It's
been a
definitely
while.
going to work.
It's been
That's
a
a
while.
great idea.
Very good.
Great idea.
Very
I
good.
love that.
Very
Passed
good.
with the present. That works so well. Now, conversations with the president, in addition to what we do here at WJAB with you, what are the conversations with the president going to be, and when will you start that?
Well, we're having one this evening. So it will be an opportunity for our randomly selected faculty and staff members to have this conversation, and I'm there as well as members of the President's Cabinet. We're there, and it's an informal discussion and dialogue. There is no agenda. Individuals may ask any questions that they would like, and we try to respond to them. And that's why the cabinet is there, because it may be something in a specific area that we need to try to address. And so it's just a matter of keeping the lines of communications open, and we always want to do that, making as many different venues and ways of people communicating and learning about the university and sharing what their ideas. We want to open up as many of those avenues as possible. And so this has been a very effective one that we've used in the past. And so we will have our conversation with the president this evening.
And where and what time?
It will be at 5:30 in the Knight Center. Now, again, it's for those who've been randomly selected, so those persons would have been notified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we do have a meal. We do serve a meal, so we can only accommodate, the numbers that we have. We try to keep it small, so I think there are like 30, 40 people, 15 faculty, 15 staff members, and then, of course, the others would be the executive committee of the Senate, the executive committee of the staff, and, of course, the president's cabinet to make up those numbers.
That's wonderful. That is great. Before we get out of here and run out of time real quick, United Way and then the Christmas tree lighting also?
Yes.
So what are we doing with United Way? How's that going?
United Way went extremely well this year. This is the third year that we've done United Way. The first year, it was headed up by Dr. Barbara Jones. Second year, Dr. Dolores Price did that. And, of course, this year, Ms. Lockhart headed up that effort. And I'm pleased to say each year we have done better than the previous year. This is a high this year. We did 28% more in donations this year than we did last year. Last year we were a little over $21,000. This year we're over $27,000.
Wonderful.
So they have 28% increase. In addition to that, there's a given level called the Red Feather. The Red Feather is for persons that give $1,000 or more. We've increased the number of Red Feather contributors each year. We had, I think it was 5 or 6 last year. We've got 7 this year. And so we're very, very pleased with what's happening with United Way. And it's an opportunity for us to be a part of the larger community. When you look at United Way, you find that other universities participate in United Way. You have companies that participate in United Way. The federal government participates in United Way. So it's one of those community agencies that touch all aspects of what we do here. As a matter of fact, even our cooperative extension program is one of the areas funded through the United Way.
Oh, that's great.
So one of the initiatives, not the whole program, one of the initiatives there. And you mentioned the Christmas tree lighting, so that's the next activity we'll have, our official Christmas tree lighting. And in concert with that, we always have what is called our angel tree. If you've not received, you will be receiving a request from me asking that we participate by giving a contribution so that we can go out and purchase clothes and gifts for children in our community. We're partnering with the Edmonton Heights community, and so we expect about 30 children, and it's important. We are extremely blessed, and this is the time, and we should do it all the time, but this is really the time of the year that we understand there are persons in our society less fortunate than we are, and it's a time to share. You want to be sure that children, that this is a time that they will enjoy. And so we're asking each person to make a contribution. We're trying to do $3,000 so that we can go out and really get nice gifts for our children. We don't just give them anything. I mean, if you're going to give a gift, you need to give a gift that's really going to be meaningful for that child. And we decided this year that rather than have each individual go out and purchase a gift, they would give the contribution, and then there'll be a committee, group of persons will go out, purchase all of the gifts. That way you're sure you get variety. If everyone is purchasing, you could have 7 or 8 of one and nothing of the others that you need. And so this way we're sure that we get the gifts that we need for them. And so when you get the solicitation and the request, we do ask that you please respond accordingly.
All right. So now when is the date and time for the Christmas tree lighting, and then they can follow over to the angel tree?
The 28th is the of November.
Okay. That's a Tuesday, or is it a Wednesday?
I'm not sure of the...
I think it's the 29th.
You think it's the 29th? I'm not sure of the exact date.
I believe it's the 29th. Okay. We'll find out definitely and tell our listeners about that, but we want everybody to come out. Music again with the Marching Union White and the choir by chance?
I think those are on a part of what we plan to do. Yeah, so it's always very festive in having those persons there.
All right. Well, we look forward to that as always. And wrap up, it gets a little airish. out there as the night goes on. That's what my dad says, a little Irish.
That's right.
And so we want everybody to come out. So any final Thanksgiving greetings once again to our listeners?
We certainly do want to thank everyone for their support during this semester. We wish for you a very wonderful Thanksgiving opportunity and Thanksgiving period. And this is probably the last conversation that we'll have for this semester. And so we all look forward to beginning again in 2018. So I wish for all of our listeners and our fans and our supporters that they would have a wonderful Christmas holiday as well, and New Year's. And we'll see you back on the Hill in 2018.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Andrew Hugine, our 11th president here at Alabama A&M University. We appreciate talking with you as always, and happy Thanksgiving to you and First Lady Abigail Hugine and your family as well.
Thank you very much. Same to you.
Thank you. Coming your way next, we have an update from NPR News, followed by its award-winning news magazine, All Things Considered, followed by more afternoon expressions here on 90.9 FM WJAB. Thank you so much for tuning in to Presidential Community News from the Hill. I'm Erica Fox. Please have a great day.